Lil Nas X, co-writer of Old Town Road. That song went, if I'm correct, it went double platinum, over 20 million sold. He just came out with a song called J Christ. Um, in his music video, it's very sacrilegious, it's very blasphemous in terms of the imagery, the lyrics, and how he portrays God. Um, I honestly like this is absolutely insane. It has 15 million views as of now, but I just really want to know honest reactions to when you guys seen this video. I'm gonna save mine for last, but whoever wants to go first, I just want to hear honest reactions to J Christ by Lil Nas X.
All right, I got one. My gut reaction just initially is that was disgusting. I was sickened by that. I I read what he had to say about it. He said something to the effect of, all I wanted was an act unbothered. And then he followed it up with honest apologies. And I didn't mean to offend anyone. I just thought that was just the most BS crap that I ever heard. Are you kidding me? If you know anything about the faith and his history with music videos and what he's done, oh man, he had one other one that was also just it was the music video was an allusion to the Garden of Eden, and it was just disgusting. It was something like "Call Me by Your Name," I think it was called. It's disgusting. I cannot believe what this guy is doing. I heard that song "Old Town Road," and of course, kids play it all the time. I'm a music teacher. They always want me to play that one. I'm like, no. For one, that's just ridiculously musically stupid. I think the song on its own is just nothing special about it. I like musical sophistication, so the vast majority of what you hear on the radio is not for me anyway. That's just me, my tastes. But oh my gosh, to see where this guy is going, he named himself after Nas, who hey, Nas is immensely talented. He's trying to invoke the name of someone who is talented to cover his lack of talent. Holy smokes, this guy's not a good musician. And his imagery, I don't know if he's too stupid to realize the results of who what he's saying here, or if he's just being driven by others. All I want is an act unbothered. Ugh, I wish no one would bother me. I wish I could just do whatever I wanted with no pushback, no response. Everyone would just let me do whatever I want to do. This is absurd. And the imagery in that was absolutely disgusting.
My man Osmond, your reaction.
I hated it. Absolutely. He enters in as a trans, I think, angel figure, or at least Christ figure with a halo, and he has a necklace that says sex. Like, that's how he entered. And then every person, by the way, that he depicts coming up into heaven is Oprah Winfrey look like. He had Obama look like. He had a Michael Jackson that was in heaven doing the moonwalk. And so yeah, I did not like it at all. Then he still has a stripper pole that goes down to hell, where then he also plays the Satan figure. So I was a little confused at uh, his only reasoning for using the whole Christ imagery is he has a looking at the lyrics, because you have to reading the lyrics and watching the video are two different things. Like, if you just read the lyrics, it doesn't make sense to what you're seeing. But his main reasoning for titling this whole song as Jesus J Christ is back it up out of the grave site. B word, I'm back like J Christ. That's the only reference to Christ imagery in the whole lyrics. And I'm like, what does this have anything? So you're basically saying he's coming back from the gravesite. And I don't understand what that means. Um, I'm fine. Get the gays hyped. I'm gonna take it to the hot y'all high. I'm sorry. He is not a literal poet in even just for good rap music. Um, and so I think he's just doubling down on what the media, at least the music industry, left leaning wants to promote. same-sex attraction, sexual fluidity, because he's dressed as a man and a woman at the same time, and the demons imagery of demonic things is very popular in music, and he's making the Christians like shock value react. Like they're getting he's prerogative, he's black, and he's gay. He is fitting in so many like victim groups to be checked off that's why he's popular. It's not his music. I don't think his music is that great. I think it's the he pushes back against the imagery of what good rap artists look like. And let's be honest, like Kevin Hart ripped on like his son being gay if he wanted a dollhouse. Like black artists didn't accept homosexuality back in the day, especially in rap culture. They didn't accept it, and so he's pushing against the norm, and that's being hyped up. Billie Eilish has a lot of demonic imagery in her music. Praise Taylor Swift's like some of her set design for her Eras tour were very
Witchcraft.
demonic and witchcraft,
Bro.
and it's getting hyped up. So like I think we're just having the same conversations that Christians had with AC/DC, Metallica back in the day, and Kiss especially, of like demonic stuff sells. Like let's be honest, he's playing that card well. It's not his music because it sucks. A lot of it is auto tune edited, and the artists that are really good that could bring in good messages or just talking about real things aren't getting the hype. Like I don't even want to know how much he spent on the visual effects. He went from being an angel to a demon to Satan to being Moses, and it ends with 2 Corinthians 5:17. He ends the last thing is a new creation coming, and it is blasphemous. And I'm pretty confident he isn't even Christian. So I don't understand why he's going after Christian imagery. Like I don't get it. Just stay in the demonic. Like you started. I think it's because of the free press that he's getting because of it, the shock value and the name recognition. I think every time he's putting something prerogative out, it gets attention. It brings him money. He gets free publicity and free airplay. And I think the left leaning people who want to be pro same-sex attraction and want to harp on the Christians are going to listen to this over and over to promote him. I bet he either gets a Grammy or best music video. Like it's gonna be sad. It really is. But yeah, I just want good music. I just want good rap music that doesn't talk about sex, drugs, and money. Like, tell me a story. Help me feel the struggle that you're going through. Like Tupac Shakur's "Changes" is awesome. He's like, I made it. Like one of my favorite lines is, "I made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way, selling crack to the kids. Well, I have to get paid." Like he was talking about the struggles of what it was like that you have to make money living in the streets of New York. And then same with the Dear Mama. He's talking to his mom about sending her money in the mail so that she's able to pay her rent. Like they talked about life stories. But right now, outside of Lil Nas's sexuality, what does his music actually talk about? So, but Chris, you're even more music. Well, Tyler, you're way more musically talented than I ever will be. But Chris, this is entering in the what Tyler may not consider rap music as music, but as a person who is, I
I'll
think,
never forget.
a good writer. You've done great spoken word poetry. Like, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, Osmond, I think you give him too much credit to even call it music. This isn't music. Like, I'm sorry, this is not music. And if it is, then I'm sorry. The music definition of music has changed. I mean, this is
Yeah.
it's blasphemy in its highest form. I tried to read the lyrics and they didn't make any sense to me. I don't know what story he was trying to convey in his lyrics. But it's not about the lyrics. It's about the imagery in the music video. And if you notice nowadays, it's not just Lil Nas X, it's Sam Smith, it's Demi Lovato, it's Ice Spice, it's screaming at not literal screaming, but screaming out the top of your lungs some anti-Christian, anti-God message. And it doesn't have to make sense lyrically. It's just getting that message out that the world hates God. And if this is any more evidence that people, especially Christians, need, the world is not neutral. There is nothing neutral in this world. The music industry is not neutral. The media is not neutral. The government is not neutral. It is all anti God and unashamed to do so. Unashamed to have this imagery of Christ on a cross or Christ eating this communion chip and drinking this and eating a communion chip and drinking. It's all stupid and it's meant for shock value. Demi Lovato's song, I don't remember what it's called, Pig or something like that, where she's saying it's okay for me to F whoever I want and I can F whoever I want as many times as I want, and you can't tell me not to. And Sam Smith on stage in a Satan costume dancing around provocatively. And it's not about art anymore. It's just how shocking can we be? How can we just garner more and more attention? Because our music isn't music. It's crap. It sucks. Our lyrics sucks. Our melodies suck. Everything about it sucks. So we have to get people's attention some other way. Why not do something so provocative? Not even just showing our bodies are provocative. Let's now talk about Jesus. How can we desecrate the name of Christ? That will shock people. That will get people to cheer because people already hate Christ. So why not cheer when we desecrate him? That's all this nonsense is, and we're going to see a lot more of it where it's not artistic at all. Even if they claim it's artistic. I think who was it? James, we talked about him maybe a year ago. Kendrick Lamar, when he had his performance of having the crown of thorns on and having I guess there were demons coming up to him and raining blood everywhere, and just it's not about art. And I know if Chang was here, he'd probably sit here and defend Kendrick Lamar, but I'm not Chang. I'm not defending Kendrick Lamar. I honestly aren't impressed with his lyrics either. But it's not about how great lyrically you are. We're past the time of Tupac and Biggie and Nas and Jay-Z, where it was about who was best based off of your lyrics. Now it's just how can I shock the masses the most? And we've gotten to the point where cussing and swearing and showing our bodies doesn't shock people anymore. We're naturalized to it. So now we've raised it to let's blaspheme Christ. Let's desecrate the name of Christ and do it openly and then have people cheer us while we're doing it. That is the state of our world right now.
Bro, that's on point. I think that was part of the reason for the success of his first single, Old Town Road. 18 million copies. That doesn't happen by accident. I think it was because first and foremost, nobody's ever seen the marriage of rap and country music together. And then obviously the contrast between Lil Nas X, an urban black kid, with Billy Ray Cyrus, an old white dude who sang country in the 80s. That combination, it was like, hey, this is different. And I think that's what helped propel it to the top. But now I think you just hit the nail on the head perfectly. We're so desensitized to nudity, profanity, and obviously even seeing sexual scenes on TV and in movies now, nothing's enough anymore. And one thing I've learned about hip hop artists is whenever they have a new album getting ready to drop, they always just so happen to have a beef with another artist. It's always like some manufactured beef. Nicki Minaj is getting ready to drop her new album. All of a sudden, she's beefing with Meg Thee Stallion out the blue. I'm like, I get it, bro. They want controversy now. And what's left is the image of Christ. So watching that music video, absolutely appalled. Absolutely appalled. Blasphemy. He's coming in there. Like Osmond, like you said, he has this whole androgynous appearance, half male, half female, and you see all the celebrity lookalikes, and he's sexualizing this like angelic imagery first and foremost. Then he has Jesus Christ in his scene playing basketball, looking like an airhead, looking like an incompetent basketball player. First of all, Jesus is gonna be the GOAT basketball player. Let's just say that first and foremost. MJ, Kobe Bryant, they don't got that Christ. So, but he has himself crossing over Jesus. He breaks Jesus' ankles. It slows down where Jesus is getting ready to touch the ground, and then the camera pans to his shoes, which is his Satan shoes, which has a drop of human blood that was so controversial when he talked about it. It slows down his shoes, and he continues to carry on with the video. And we understand what they're doing now. It's the most shocking thing. His entire marketing campaign for the song was shocking our system with foolish Christ imagery. So one of the clips he posted before this song dropped was he took the communion crackers and the juice, and he took the crackers, he took the tray that we picked out of the tray, he took the whole tray and was dumping the crackers in his mouth while he's just like having fun in he's wearing his like disciple robe and the whole costume looking like a disciple. Like that was his entire campaign. So it was intentional. So him apologizing was BS, because you're not apologizing because you feel bad. You knew this was going to happen. You're going to fake your apology ahead of time. He knew this whole thing was going to happen. He needs controversy to sell, and he's just looking for viral clickbait. So honestly, I'm 15 million views. I'm happy that's all it has. It sounds terrible saying that, but looking at a lot of his other videos, a lot of them have close to like 100 million views, and this to only have 15 million views, I'm kind of happy. I'm happy that people knew of what he was doing ahead of time, and they're like, we're just not going to support it. I'm not supporting it at all. And I think we're going to continue to see this. And the last thing I was going to say is, it's always Jesus. It will never be Muhammad. It will never be Gandhi. It will never be any of these guys, because we know what happened when they tried to use the Charlie Hebdo attacks in France. When they tried to make a caricature of Muhammad, they literally came in and shot the place up. They shot a newspaper agency up because they tried to make a fool of Muhammad. They didn't even outright disrespect him. It was so ambiguous. It could have been taken as disrespect, but that was still enough for them to say, we're shutting down this shop. Y'all getting shot up today. We shutting this place down. But when it comes to Christians, it happens all the time. Like Christians, I get it. We have to turn the other cheek. We want to be Christ-like in our actions and our speech, but we always allow them to disrespect Jesus in our faith, in our country, and nothing happens. There's never repercussion for them. Nobody will ever get fired. If there is a Me Too for attacks on the image of Christ, everybody will be out of their positions politically, CEOs of companies, but it'll never happen because we never allow ourselves to say, hey, that's wrong. Because even for us to put our foot down and say, hey, that's wrong, I don't like it, we feel like we're doing something wrong internally. But let it be Muhammad, let it be any other religious leader, another Charlie Hebdo would happen, but here we are. So I don't know. This is the direct. I truly believe this is the direction music will go into. Quality and substance decreases, and shock factor will increase. That's all they have left. That's the end of the bag. That's the bottom of the bag with all the gimmicks. That's all they have left.
Well, I guess you never really did answer your question, which was, how should we as Christians respond to this kind of thing? And I don't know about you guys, but honestly, it wasn't all that shocking to me. I mean, I kind of expect it at this point. I expect Christ to be the last thing that these people can turn to mock and scorn, to shock people. But I'm not shocked by it. It's this is the world system. This is Satan has control over all these things of the world. So why would I be shocked that that's what the imagery that gets shown nowadays? But what we as Christians can do, preach the gospel, preach the real Christ. We don't need to go on message boards and things like that and call Lil Nas X this name and that name. And we don't need to do that, but we do need to be preaching the gospel, be preaching the real Christ, and only through Christ that we can be saved. Otherwise, we're still in sin. We're slaves to sin, and we will die in our sin. And only Christ brings healing. He is the source of all truth and all life. And only through him do we have life. And this is a dying world, and it's going to pass away. We are closer to heavenly hope than what we have been in the past. It really is right around the corner, and this is evidence of it.
Can we do both?
Denounce it and same time preach Christ. Yeah, I think we should denounce it, but what I'm saying is we don't need to be going on every message board.
Well, not that way.
Talking about how bad this is.
Yeah. But we can still put our foot down and say we won't allow ourselves to be disrespected. Is that possible too?
You can say, yeah, I'm not going to allow myself to be disrespected. I'm not going to allow my king to be disrespected, but what's that going to ultimately do other than just you putting your foot down?
Bro, I think it do a lot. Look at Anheuser-Busch right now. They put a trans individual on a beer can, and we literally destroyed in terms of valuation, the highest valued beer company that exists on planet Earth. They're literally within a year of insolvency. I think that was because we took the moral high ground. We were not going out cursing them out. We're not going out there protesting with sign, but we use our voices and we use our dollar. Ultimately, the dollar is what really matters. But we combine both elements, and now they're begging for people. They're giving beer out for free now. Like, that's where they're at right now. And I think we could do the same thing with music labels. You have another artist come out with another song depicting Christ and making a mockery of him. We don't have to go on message boards. We don't have to use ad hominem attacks, but we can use our voice and we can use our dollar in the same way, to the point where they will be crawling and begging and apologizing for the mistake they made. I think we have that power and we can use it.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't buy Lil Nas X music. I don't buy his merchandise. So I'm already speaking with my dollars because I don't buy it anyway. I guess if you are a Christian and you do listen to that kind of music, you do listen to Lil Nas X, you do listen to these record labels and these radio stations, and I honestly question your Christianity.
I agree.
And I think that's fair to do.
Yeah.
If you're a Christian and you want to drink, Bud Light before all that controversy, then, sure, I think it tastes like cat piss, but to each their own. If you want to drink that, that's fine. But, with the Bud Light thing, I feel like it's a little bit different because you get Christians and non-Christians that both say, you know what, I don't want a trans person on a can of beer that I'm drinking. Whereas with this, it's a true affront to Jesus Christ and who he is as deity. But also, we don't partake in this kind of music anyway. So it's not like the record company is already getting our money from us, because we don't partake in this kind of music. And I'm not sure what label or record company he's signed to, but it's not one that I partake in or listen to that kind of music.
You know what's funny though?
So I guess to you, James, how else can we be putting our foot down and making our voices heard that we're not going to tolerate this?
Funny thing is, I've actually played Old Town Road when I was a full-time musician on Broadway. And music is so unique in the fact that it can be in so many different places and we can support it directly and indirectly. Like when people purchase licensing deals. Like, for example, if we open a bar tomorrow, we can't just play music overhead. We have to pay a licensing deal with like ASCAP or any of the other music industry companies that actually license and puts out these songs. They own collections of artists that you have to pay to have access to. And for us, it can be simply being present in like having a full bar where songs are being played overhead and Lil Nas X or somebody else gets snuck in the middle of all those songs. The only way for a bar to say, we're going to sever our relationship with ASCAP is if we know they have a playlist present and we don't go to that bar. That's how complicated it is to like see a music label topple over. Beer is simple, just don't buy the beer. Music, it's presence in a bar, it's song placements in like Netflix shows, movies. You open a website and there's an ad at the top of the page. That company's getting paid because of clicks. It's so much more complicated in music than it is a singular product. So honestly, it would have to just be, I think honestly, the same blueprint, because it's going to be too difficult for the average human being to get involved in. Oh, they're playing this, they have a licensing deal with this company, so we have to avoid these bars. Human beings don't operate that. That's too complicated. That's almost, we need like a military type organization for that to be successful. I think the only thing that we can do is follow the same blueprint as if it was a singular product, which is use our voices to speak on how disrespectful it is towards our faith. Don't need ad hominem attacks, just keep it simple. And secondly, what we're already doing, just don't support the artist directly. It's possible indirectly mistakes can happen. You don't know ahead of time it's going to be in your favorite movie or your favorite show or on your whatever websites you frequent the most. That's too complicated. So I'll just say keep it on the simple front. That way everybody can follow that. And that'll do enough damage to those labels to see them topple over slowly.